We touch on a lot of topics on the Hardy Complex that are not professional wrestling. It doesn't matter if it's football, it doesn't matter if it is music, it doesn't matter if it is world headlines, global headlines, whatever you want to call it, local headlines, countrywide headlines, big moments, couldn't care less. One of the biggest pieces of, internet argumentation over the past couple of days was something that I believe Forbes, if I'm not mistaken, that Forbes released on Twitter or released on their website or in their magazine, whatever it may be. And I believe the headline was something along the lines of Kylie Jenner is on pace to become the youngest self-made billionaire of this generation or of all time, or something along those lines. With the caption afterwards, what are you doing with your life? Or something along those lines. What are you doing at the moment? Or what's your life going at or getting at? And it was spark of a heated debate, not over the term of Kylie Jenner's success, or even over the question of what are you doing with your life, or what are you doing at the moment, but over the definition that is applicable with the statement of Kylie Jenner's worth and wealth, over the dictionary term self-made. And the big argument came after, no pun intended, the dictionary on their Twitter account quoted that, in short, she was not self-made. Citing the actual definition of self-made, which is, let me find it at the moment. The definition as my capture, are we rolling? We're rolling. The definition of self-made is their success on their own merit without inheriting any wealth and or fame from family, friends, or any other beings other than the person in question, that being self-made. And a lot of people talked about that she was self-made or that she wasn't self-made. You can't really be self-made by not inheriting at least one penny from somebody in order to accomplish something. And other people claiming that self-made doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to get or inherit a penny from somebody else, but at least means that you have to have done the majority of the work on your brand yourself, in your own way. And I decided to kind of to weigh my side in on this, or what I believe is not what I believe is my opinion is on it, but what my opinion on the case is, and what I believe the overall answer to the question of is Kylie Jenner a self-made billionaire or not. By technicality, she's not yet, apparently. She's at 900 million. I believe her makeup brand is at $900 million in terms of net worth, which is a big deal. But the answer, once she does reach $1 billion, once her company is marketed at $1 billion net worth, is no. In my opinion, no. And I'll tell you why. We're going to avoid the financial reasoning. For one, because I could not find a specific number other than, it was millions, it was a couple $100 million, it was, based off of this, or nothing at all. I couldn't find a specific number towards her wealth, or what she put in to her company, or what others put into her company once it started. So I'm going to avoid all of that because there's nothing concrete. So I don't want to put something in that could be discussed or could be argued in my statement of something that I don't see very arguable. In order to be self-made, in terms of your business, I feel as though it should be a must to state that you shouldn't be coming from not only a wealthy family, but a family of which has a reality television show seen by the masses, of which you are a series regular on. I don't think you can really be self-made in terms of your business when your entire family has been successful for, having no talent whatsoever, other than the fact that they can withstand the pain of going under the knife multiple times within a year. But at the same time, I don't think you can really call yourself self-made, or somebody else can call you self-made, when you come from a family in which their name is so widely known within America that I'm sure you can name every fucking member of them, from fucking Barbie dolls on the shelves to reality television at its core to being cheated on by some other fake plastic look-alike on the Toys R Us toy section or whatever the fuck it may be. I don't think you can call yourself self-made when your name is so widely known within the masses of which your business is targeted at. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not going to shit on her structure, on her business structure. I'm not going to shit all over her business's product. Right? I don't really give a shit whether her product is crap or not. I'm not going to try. I'm a guy. I don't really wear makeup or lipstick, nor do I wish to. I can't really just talk about whether her product is good or not. Whether it is or not, the point is she's been able to make her business extremely profitable. She's been able to do extremely well in her business, and that I praise her for. I applaud her for. She is great at being a businesswoman in terms of the fact that she can market her product towards her demographic, or towards what her business's demographic is or should be. And that is extremely, impressive. In order to know what your market is, in order to market your product towards what your market is, and in order to constantly put out something new that people deem purchasable. You can say all you want about people purchasing shit music nowadays, but people purchase shit all the time now. So, people purchased Pet Rocks when they came out. So whether her product is good or not, they're going to purchase it nonetheless. The point is, she comes from a family in which is made up of a lot of wealth, great wealth, is made up of great brand name. Whenever you hear the name Kardashian or Jenner, you think of words like plastic, you think of things like reality, you think of things like diva, so on and so forth. But overall, you think of the name Kardashian and Jenner, you think of a word that is, arguably applicable to that family or to that, clan, as people call it. So coming from that clan, making your business start, granted, it's not her fault that her family was well known. It's not her fault that the name Jenner or Kardashian, whichever one it was gained fame in one of the most notorious fucking court scandal, or not court scandals, but court followings of this generation or this century. And it's not her fault that the majority of her family during her childhood was extremely extravagant in terms of public appearance. But sadly, we all tend to pay for the mistakes of our families or of our group. If our family was in public punching police officers and shooting at unarmed civilians, and we come from their offspring, or we are their offspring, we tend to be designated with their names or with the same names that came from them. So, and granted, that's not what happens with the Kardashians or the Jenners, but if that were to happen, whoever comes later with their name tends to suffer the consequences of people going, oh, well, you're the offspring of this, or the offspring of the person that did this. You know what I mean? We all pay for the mistakes of our ancestors, of the people that came before us, of the people that came before them. And the Jenners or Kardashians, no matter how famous they are, no matter how rich they are, suffer that in the same way. With Kylie Jenner, the biggest point in this term of self-billionaire is she's paying for the actions of her family beforehand. Their extravagant public appearances, their overall desire to be in the national spotlight, their overall desire to capitalize on other people's names or on other people's desires or whatever it may be. Or Kylie Jenner is, going to suffer from that in terms of her status as a self-made billionaire. As she was a child, or even, well, hell, actually, before she was even a child, I believe it was on the Jenner side, but part of her family was on national television representing a megastar in terms of professional football for killing his wife and her boyfriend. And that's where the whole, fucking Jenner and Kardashian fiasco ended up starting. But before she was even born, or at least I believe before she was even born, this was the case on national television. As she was a teenager, her family had a national television series that was going on, 4 or 5 seasons, watched so consistently and, blast or put on blast by many people that considered it completely and utterly stupid, was followed by a heavy fucking audience, a heavy fucking following that just worshipped this group. And Kylie Jenner, going on years later, making her business, had a one-up compared to other people that did not have a leg up in terms of family name or wealth. Before she'd even put out a product in terms of her cosmetic line, there was already a name associated with that brand, and it was her own name. And that was because of the success and because of the spotlight that her family, other than her, had for years at this point. The true meaning of self-made in terms of definition is completely starting something from scratch. No help from anybody else, no help from anybody's name, no help from anybody's fortunes. I don't think with that definition anybody can be considered self-made. I mean, in order to start a business, many people have to take out loans. That would kill you from being self-made. I mean, even if you pay the loans off, that business is not self-made. It's you can make the case of self-raised, but definitely not self-funded. Point is, nobody can really be self-made with that definition. My idea of self-made is being able to really start your own business, really start your own structure without help from your own family's name or without help from your family's wealth, but starting with what you have, without a name that is widely known, without riches that your family made for 20 plus years beforehand. It is the case of you put your hard-earned time and effort into making a business from your own wealth or from wealth that you earned without a name that people automatically associate your brand with. That is what you are self-made. That's a self-made business. A self-made individual is somebody that did not prove their life works based off of what other people had earned or what other people had made in terms of your family's name or somebody else's success or somebody else's design or something you inherited. I mean, I would be considered self-made in terms of the fact that I've made 99.99999% of my wealth from my own success. I mean, I got extremely lucky in terms of my success today. I was lucky to find a wrestling promotion very early on in life that I was able to work for that ended up having a bright future. I was very lucky to find an audience in pro wrestling that wanted to hear my voice and agreed with my opinion. I was very lucky in life to be able to quickly develop a strong grasp of the English language that I could go in, write a song, and finish in an hour and have it be a lyrical masterpiece. I was very lucky in life to, at the stages in life that I was, find something very concrete in the future that would afford me success going onwards. It was like an investment. It may not have paid off in the moment, but years later would succeed for me. The point is, I would be looked at as self-made, though I'm very lucky in terms of the fact that I got very lucky to be at where I am today. Kylie Jenner, in my opinion, I'm not going to say she's not self-made because of what she has done or what she has earned, but because of what her family has done. Whether it's good or bad, her family made a name for themselves before Kylie Jenner had her cosmetic line. Her ancestors, or the people that came before her, however you want to phrase it, made their names before Kylie Jenner was even born. So when Kylie Jenner came around and made her cosmetic line what it is today, her family had already been established. Her family's name had already been established. There was a brand And there was a name attached to that brand before that brand even released a goddamn thing. And that is not Kylie Jenner's fault. That is not her family's fault either. That is just the circumstance of which her life and her family's life took the road down. So I'm not discrediting Kylie Jenner's status because of what Kylie Jenner has done or because of what her family has done, but because of the circumstance of which her family's life and her life have gone down. And many people have said, and I've said this before to a couple of people, but many people have quoted me as saying, well, that's not exactly fair. She shouldn't have to be ripped a status away from her because of what her family had done. That's life. I mean, there's no other way I can phrase it other than that's life. We're all going to pay for what our families have done. We're all going to pay for what the people before us have done. We're all going to pay for what our affiliators have done. It's a case of, I mean, hell, you have, if LeBron James were to sign with, or a fucking commercial deal with Papa John's, right? And LeBron James were to say that he hated gays, right? And whatever the fuck he may say. I mean, I'm not saying he would say it, but if he were to say it in that moment, Papa John's would then suffer from it. Not because of what Papa John's did, but because of what their affiliators did or what their affiliators said. And it's not always fair, and it's not always going to be fair. But that's the same. Life is not fair. We're all going to pay for what our affiliators, what our groups, or what our families have done in terms of the public eye. And with Kylie Jenner, it's just the case of the fact that this is what her family did. This is what her family had started. So by proxy, she's going to suffer in this category from what her family did. Just to say, or just because she's not self-made because of what her family did, does not mean she's not successful because of her family's name. She's been able to turn something that was, even with a name towards the brand, completely unknown. You know, you never knew whether the line would be shit or not, whether it was going to be overpriced or not. And I've heard that it's overpriced, but I'm not going to say it's overpriced because I've never paid a dime for her product. But when it comes down to her business, she has been absolutely successful in it, and there is no way you can say she has not been. She's been able to use her name, her own name, not just her family's name, but her own name, the Kylie Jenner name, to succeed with her business, to really put forth her name, her brand's name. She's been able to succeed in having her product reach the market that it needs to reach and the audience that it needs to reach, and that is incredible. But that market started, or that product started, that company started, because her name was affiliated with her family's name. Her family's extremely extravagant, public appearing name. She's not self-made, but she has damn sure impressed me in terms of what she can do with her business, in terms of what she's been able to accomplish in her very short life. And while she may not end up being a self-made billionaire, the youngest self-made billionaire of all time, she is damn sure going to be a billionaire that has earned what she's made in life, in terms of the fact that she's been able to launch a company and make it succeed based off of what she's been able to accomplish, what she's made, and being able to successfully reach the market that she's aiming for. That is impressive. She may not be a self-made billionaire, but she'll be a billionaire nonetheless, and that is equally impressive. So, that's my status on that. Take it or leave it. Again, as always, Hardy Complex, back in 60.